What's up, y'all? Welcome to the video. I'm here for another episode of the PodVlog with Ryan Rubio.
What is up? Hello.
He is a world-class powerlifter. He's going to show me what to do today, how to get big and strong. So 173, 176.
I competed at 176 a few months ago. We're sitting around like 170 right now.
Okay. So he's actually lost some weight, still strong as shit. Crushed some records, he's getting some awesome advice. We're going to get this lift in, do some legs, and then get to the interview. See y'all in a minute.
Yo. All right, what is up?
Ryan Rubio, my man.
What's up, man?
Dude, thanks for the workout. It was good.
Absolutely. I hope you enjoyed it.
It was great. So, for everybody listening, give me just kind of the long and short of what you've done. You've got your powerlifting records, you've got businesses, you just moved down to Texas.
Yep.
What's the deal?
Started this whole game in 2016.
Okay.
Just started lifting. I was antisocial in LA, didn't have any friends. So just started to go to 24-hour fitness. I'm just like, I'm going to study YouTube. I'm gonna go in 24-hour fitness, and I'm gonna implement what I see on YouTube. So, taught myself how to squat, bench, and deadlift. Found Lane Norton's PH3 program.
Yeah.
Ran that, and decided I wanted to compete. Competed at my first meet. Moved back to San Diego. Went to a gym called California Elite Training Center. Started managing that.
Okay.
Started documenting my training more. People that saw me documenting my training were just like, hey, can you help me?
Yeah.
And I'm just like, yeah, absolutely. I started helping those people. Those people kind of went off to tell other people. Those people came to me, helped them. They told other people. So it just kind of like, turned into me just being a coach.
So 6 years ago, almost 7 years ago, you started lifting.
I'm 31 now. I started lifting at like 25, 26-ish.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't touch a barbell before that.
And
ever.
then what is your total lifts? Like, run us through your squat, bench, and deadlift.
As of recently, or where I started at?
Your max.
My max.
And then where you started.
Huh?
And then where you started.
Okay,
that's crazy.
Most recently I just now squatted 556 in competition, benched 374, and I deadlifted 700 pounds even.
At what body weight?
At 176 pounds.
That's crazy,
yeah,
bro.
man. It's been a long time coming.
Was that records?
Unfortunately, no.
How close was it?
In my weight class, 180, so I compete, so it's 165 and 181. The 181 record's it's like above 800 pounds, man. That's
still crazy, though.
Yeah. So I still got there's a coefficient score that we go off of where they measure your body weight and your total.
Yeah.
That way it's like a evener for like the whole competition. And I got a 510 dots, which is pretty respectable. That's like a elite dots.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't have the stats, but like 1% of the population exercises, right? I think it's like 10%. And then of that 10%, there's like 1% that can do the squat, double your body rate, bench 1 times your body weight, like whatever. That's 1%. So you're in the elite of that 1%. Even if it wasn't a record, that's crazy.
Yeah, no, I feel very accomplished from it, like enough to take a break for a while.
And I didn't know that you were like self-taught within the last 6 years, because a lot of guys like you are like me, where I've been doing it since I could like remember.
Well, no, and what's nice is that I get to coach all the people that started lifting in high school and developed all their shitty habits.
Yeah.
So for me, luckily, I came in at a time where information was just like so readily available. It's not as readily available as it is now, but 6 years ago, it was still like you can go on YouTube and look at how they were squatting, benching, and deadlifting. It wasn't like my high school PE coach teaching me how to do that shit.
Like, again.
Well, yeah. Just like like I said, I get to work with those people that developed all those bad habits in high school.
Right.
So I'm almost glad that I didn't start in high school, you know?
We trained in high school, like I said, with Mark Ripto.
Well, you got a good trainer then.
We had a great trainer, but I think the problem was like, so my focus was track and field. I didn't necessarily need to be powerlifting.
Yeah.
But if you train at Mark's gym,
you had
powerlifting.
Yeah, you had to squat. You had to at least squat. Yeah.
So I mean, it's like even then, the guys that like I had a buddy kind of like you, 5'5", 5'6", and he was squatting 500 pounds at 16 years old.
That's insane.
But his hips are kind of fucked up now and stuff like that. So it's always greener, I guess. But either way, dude, you crushed it, self-taught.
Thank you.
What'd you do before that? Like, where'd you go to school or what'd you do?
I was in my undergrad in LA studying to get a degree in literature to go, that was gonna be my pre-law to get my Juris Doctorate.
Okay.
And once you see the student loans on a Juris Doctorate degree, you're just like, all in or you're all out. I was all out. I was like, I don't want that amount of debt over my head.
That's
so I got offered a management position at the gym that I was going to, and I just took that and ran with it.
Yeah. Did you want to do law in the first place? Why didn't you follow through with it?
Well, I didn't follow through initially just because I was young, man, and like the road ahead just seemed like too much work. I was like scared of the work. Yeah. At 31, if I wanted to do the law, I'd be like, no, bring on all the fucking work.
But what, do you still want to do it? Do you still think about it? So I think that's the thing. It's not like the work was scary because you put in the work in other places. I was just curious, like I wanted to go be a doctor, but then I decided kind of the same thing. It was like, I still think about it, but I wasn't ready to do what it took. Yeah, exactly. I just didn't want to do it.
No, I was in the same boat,
So, and then you got into managing. What are you doing now?
So the gym that I managed closed down last November. I took on a role as a vice president of a powerlifting federation.
Nice.
For a few months due to just we just weren't seeing eye to eye on a lot of things. And I was just like, well, I kind of want to just coach full time right now. So I quit that job and moved out here.
So with this, I leave it pretty unedited.
Yeah.
And I ask questions that I hope are like pretty transparent, but you don't have to answer anything. No, I'm just curious. So you're like, I don't really want to talk about that. But what kind of money does being the vice president of whatever powerlifting association you were in pay?
Yeah, I mean, in my position that I was in, given the funding of the owner, it was inflated for sure. I was getting paid probably more than your normal vice president for a powerlifting federation.
Is it even something that you can like do long term?
If the federation grows, yes. Did I see long-term growth of the federation given what was happening? No.
So that's kind of interesting too, because I thought there was like, what is it, the IPFA, like the International Powerlifting Association?
They have IPF, which is the international. We have USAPL, which is in the States. We have Powerlifting America, which is a subsidiary or like their state's connection for the IPF. Okay. Because we need each country needs its respective country to bring everyone together. Right. So there's Powerlifting America for that. There's USAPL, that's United States America Powerlifting Association or something like that. There's USPA, which is pretty much the same thing, but they have untested and tested meets. Okay. Then what I was managing was the WRPF. That's World Raw Powerlifting. Okay. They are international as well, originating in Russia.
Interesting.
Yeah.
There was no drugs in that one. It was all raw. Was it a natural?
Natural and tested. Okay. So there was two. You can choose which one you wanted to go in.
So this is a total segue. This is very fitness specific. But that one, are there places where you can run gear, essentially do anabolic steroids and powerlift? Yes. Okay. Yes. And in yours, was there?
Which one? The one that I was vice president
working in. Yeah.
Yes, we hosted untested. Meaning we just didn't administer drug tests. You could be natural. You could be on performance-enhancing drugs and come in and compete. No tests. Or you can go into tested.
So what is natural versus tested? Natural is just like we take your word for whatever you say. This is all
natural
open.
Is the way that they normally run them is that you sign up, you sign a waiver, and in the top 10% of the competition, that coefficient score that I told you about, the top 10% of those scores get drug tested. Okay. If you popped, you get a ban.
So that's the tested column.
That's the tested. Untested is you go in and there's no test.
And then is that under natural?
There's natural and unnatural people across that.
I'm just kind of confused on how it works. But anyway, the back to like, I didn't even know they had like payroll basically. Yeah, man. I mean, they're big.
I mean, if you're in USAPL or USPA, which are the top two in our country, those are multi-million-dollar federations. They're businesses. You have thousands and thousands of people paying a $90 membership per year. Yeah. And then you have the meet directors that are collecting registration fees on that. So it's a money horse. Yeah,
that makes sense.
Absolutely.
I'm not too deep into powerlifting other than this cycle I'm doing, but.
Well, you said that you did, FinTech for festivals and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So just think about the ticket cost per festival. Somebody comes in and then you just kind of, I don't know how all that works, but it's the same thing.
Well, like you said, even if it's a $1 per 100, if all the fees are $100 for someone to enter and you get $1 off that, it's like basically for doing nothing, you're collecting $1 on top of everything. So, but then you have to say, okay, like how many people are doing this? And I don't know. I know
your staff breakdown, all that.
Yeah.
It's just the same as running an event. You're gonna have your registries or organizing any type of sporting event.
Yeah.
But there is a large income potential there.
So, you're the vice president, and then you moved to Austin and started coaching?
So I had been coaching on the side, just secondary income, for since 2018-ish, and that was just always on the side. It grew really big last year. Yeah. And I was just like, you know what? I can step away from this job right now and kind of be okay. But
which is crazy also, because you started lifting in 2016. Yeah. 2 years later started coaching.
Yeah.
I don't care if you actually broke the record. You did a fucking crazy lift.
Thank you.
So you've reached this elite status within 6 years and built a business.
Yeah.
And it's doing pretty well now?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, that was my thought process. I was like, well, if I have a free 40 hours freed up to coach, and everything, you act towards the goal, man. It'll pay you in return. So Absolutely. It's like I'm definitely seeing it growing, and it's nice.
Do you like Austin?
Yeah.
Why'd you move to Austin from San Diego?
Just a less stressful spot financially to rebuild my income at. Yeah. Like it was just like, okay, the cost of living out here is this much for rent. That's over less than half of what I was paying in San Diego. So looking at a year's cost of living, I was like, yeah, I could do this. Yeah. Easy.
And then did you start kind of seeing your business uptick when you came to Austin, or was it already
at first? No, because I've never been like fully self-employed. Okay. So like waking up and being like, well, what do I do? Yeah. Like the first month, it would be like the whole day would go by and be like, what just happened? Yeah, I did.
It was on Instagram.
So now it took me like a month and a half to like find my workflow. But once I found that, we're slowly, steadily building.
You start seeing like you have no idea what to do. Yeah. And then all of a sudden you have too much to do in a day. Yes. And then there's too much to do for one person, so you hire and all that stuff.
That's the plan. I have a certain like goal on where I want to scale to, and then get help. Yeah. Things like a virtual assistant and just stuff like that. Maybe even like you were talking, like a content editor or something.
Someone to shoot for you once a week or
just
something.
Just to save time so I can do more income generating activities. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
So let's get into you're running this business, which is crazy. And most of this channel is like, there's a lot of things, but it's people that want something. And there's that period of time where you've got to do whatever it takes to get to it. Right?
Absolutely.
Like, yeah. Don't rest until the goal is complete. Yep. Here's what it takes, and do it. Mm-hmm. And you can't do anything else. So then you just move on to the next thing. Like people that have accomplished a shit ton of stuff. And then I personally like fitness. I like business.
Absolutely.
So let's move to your fitness side.
Yeah.
Did you start with powerlifting?
Yes.
Why powerlifting over another sport? Even bodybuilding?
I mean, I just saw people squatting one day and I was just like, that looks cool. That looks fun. I was like, I want to learn how to do that. Yeah. So I just started doing that. Like,
what made you stick with it versus like, I like to try a bunch of different stuff. Yeah. I get distracted pretty easily. I'll go powerlift and then I'll go bodybuild and then I'll go do a marathon, like whatever. Yeah. Why'd you stick with it?
Dude, I wonder the same thing, to be honest, because getting started, I had more injuries and more like setbacks than I do now. And I'm just like, dang, you didn't even see a big return on your investment in time, and you were getting hurt. Yeah. And you were getting like, you were in pain, and you still like, just stuck through it. Yeah. So looking back on it, I'm not quite sure why I stayed in it, but I did.
Paid off, right?
Yeah, and it paid off. And now I know how to navigate, like, if somebody's coming fresh off the boat and they're like, I want to start powerlifting. It's just like, let me fast track you and save you from all those mistakes I made. Right. Because that shit was frustrating as hell.
So what are some of the hardest things that you faced, either mentally or physically? You're talking about injuries. Yeah. And just like the monotony of training for 6 straight years on one thing.
It's all mental, man. Like navigating injuries probably been the biggest challenge for me, because I hurt my back quite a few times to the point where, it hurt to like sleep. Like I wasn't sleeping because I was in so much pain.
And then you're not recovering and like
then you're not recovering. You can't do what you want. You're like going to the gym and you're just like, well, I can't do that. I can't, and you're limited to the small like 5 exercises you can do.
Right.
And you're just repeating those over and over again through the months. But you notice that, it alleviates, and then you're back to training. And you get stronger the second time because you learned through the injury.
Yep.
And what I learned through the injury got me stronger. Then I came back and PR'd, got stronger. I got injured again. Went through all the same shit, came back, got strong. So now it's like when I get injured, it's like, well, I'm just going to come back and beat the last one. So it's just a matter of time.
How long do you think you'll keep getting stronger? Are you done powerlifting? Or are you going to go back?
I'm done powerlifting for at least, I'm not going to compete until like late next year.
Okay.
Right now I am just focused on like my health markers mainly. Like I turned 30 last year. I'm 31 now. And I'm just like, well, I want to work out to give myself energy for the rest of my day and the rest of my activities and like my relationship versus coming in here and draining all my energy in the gym and going home and just, not having any mental capacity to do anything.
Especially running a business.
Yeah, and trying to build a business. That's the other thing. But powerlifting will, when you're training heavy, I don't know about other people, but like a heavy squat or a deadlift session will really like, dude, I'll go to sleep.
You're smoked.
Yeah. I will have no mental capacity afterwards.
Yeah.
So it's like, I did 2 back-to-back meets. This year. I did 2. I did 1 in March, I did 1 in July. And that just consumed all my time. So going from back-to-back meets, I earned a break. I accomplished some goals. I set a good example, I think. And now I'm ready to preach on how I did that and just like get results for other people.
Get shit done and then teach people how you did it. That's the model, man.
Pretty much. And I want to lead from the front. It's like I don't feel comfortable telling people how to do shit unless I've done it myself. And I won't have anyone do something that I haven't done myself.
Well, you don't have as much authority that way either. So people don't listen,
Yeah.
Even if it's good advice, it's like when you come with the authority that you have, it makes way more sense.
And the other thing that I'm building now is the nutrition. I didn't know about the nutrition aspect of fitness until literally last year.
Really?
I was telling you earlier during our workout that I was 203 pounds last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you were just beefy.
No, man. Today I weigh 171. So it's like I went through a big fat loss journey too. So I not only lost 25 pounds, but I gained all that strength too.
So what does your diet look like from kind of a high level?
Right now, I'm in a fat loss phase, so I'm in a calorie deficit. So I'm sure you've ran through a few of those. They suck. But just through the nutritional periodization, you go through fat loss phases, then you go through caloric surpluses, or what the more common gym people would call a cut in a bulk.
Do you follow anything specific? Like, you can even go through supplements you recommend or don't recommend.
Just
keto.
Some basic guidelines would be basic guidelines. Just eat your body weight in grams of protein. So if I weigh 200 pounds, I'm going to eat 200 grams of protein per day.
So what if you're trying to lose body fat? So you come in at 280 and you're trying to get down to 175.
I would still, it's not like, hey, I'm going to, I'm averaging like 100 grams of protein right now and I'm going to jump to 280 tomorrow.
But if you're like in your fat loss phase, you're coming in fat.
Yeah.
And you're trying to cut 100 pounds. Do you have any change there?
Well, you can, when you're weighing that much, you can eat more. So it's like, I'm still going to probably, if I have a client, work them up somewhere in that range.
Really?
That's comfortable. Okay. Yes. We have a very high threshold for how much protein that we can actually consume. Muscle protein synthesis, it will taper off. So like if we look at it like a curve, the muscle protein synthesis will go up and then kind of flatten out. But it won't really go down.
Okay.
So we can consume quite a bit of protein. I want to say it's like 3.4 grams per kilogram or something like that, which would put you, if you did the math, it's a lot.
Yeah.
There's no way you're exceeding it.
I have a hard time getting just my body weight.
And most people do. And that's where I come in and I help people kind of, bridge that gap between I can't eat enough protein and, now it's like clockwork and I can do it every day.
Yeah. I don't know.
But that, and then just eating, making sure you're properly fueled for your workouts. Eating carbohydrate before, eating carbohydrate and protein post-workout, things like that. Not eating. What's up? You want to say something?
I was going to say that was the biggest thing I saw. And I was looking through your content because you said, okay, like eat before you lift.
Absolutely.
And I have a ton of friends that eat fast. They work out fasted and they're going to do strength workouts.
No.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, if you're properly hydrated, I suppose, but you're just not gonna have the right display of strength on that. So if you're training for strength, it's gonna be skewed. It's like weighing yourself in the morning fasted versus like having a glass of water and a breakfast. Like what's your real body weight? You don't know because
it's your real strength.
Yeah.
No, that makes sense. And a lot of them aren't training to power lift, but they'll be strength training or whatever.
And a lot of there's a big misconception on training fasted and how it's better for fat loss, and all it does is delay you eating later in the day. So it's like I don't know.
I don't really follow a whole lot of fads, you know. So I'll follow macros and I try to eat clean, and I do like athletic greens and a couple things like that as a supplement, and that's about it. That's what I stick to. Mm-hmm. So,
and you said about the only supplement I really take is creatine.
Yeah.
And based off like the guidelines, a person at my weight can consume 7.5 grams of creatine per day.
Does your body weight change your
dosage? Yes.
Really? I've never heard that before.
Yeah. So if you look at the studies, everyone's going to say 5 grams is what you should take per day. You can take. How much do you weigh right now?
178.
So me and you are around a similar body weight. I forgot what the exact amount per kilogram or per pound is, but it puts us somewhere in the upper end of 7.5 to 8.
I didn't know that.
A few clients that I have that are like in the 220s, 240s, they're taking 10 grams per day.
Really?
Yeah.
And it's efficacious? It's like a good dose?
Yeah, it's a safe dose. You can take that, and you're going to see, if you look into the studies on it, that's the most researched supplement. You're going to gain a lot more lean muscle mass. You're going to retain a lot more lean muscle mass when you're cutting fat. It's going to fuel your workouts. There's the benefits are just, there's too many to not take it if you're serious about your performance and body composition goals.
I agree. I totally agree. So come to Austin, you build this business.
Yep.
What's next? What are you doing next? How long? What do you plan on getting this business to? Or do you have other things that you want to work into this business?
I want to, right now I'm just in client acquisition, and I want to see where I cap out at as far as how much quality I could provide per X amount of clients. I want to see where that cap is. And then from there, I want to possibly see about hiring help. Maybe I want to start a team. Maybe I'm comfortable right there and I want to start building on something.
Yeah.
But right now it's seeing how many how many lives I can change. How many people can I positively impact within my work capacity?
I like it.
Is where I'm going to right now.
You don't have any other start a supplement line or anything of it kind of brewing?
Right now, no. I was talking to you. I kind of want to get for the people that can't afford and I'm not even that expensive for a coach. I've charged $250 per month. It's about $8 per day. If you cut out a Starbucks or something like that, you could afford life-changing coaching. But for the people that is too high in their budget, I do want to create a lower ticket option so they can still get value from that. And I also want to continue putting out just valuable free content.
I was going to say, you're working on your content and you're putting a workout or a program out on an app, right?
Yeah. I want to complete that, and then I want to make a PDF per month that I just can send to people for free. Yeah. How to navigate fast food restaurants or eating out or social events. How to balance all these things into your life, because so many people they go into these these phases of extreme. What do you want to say? Adherence to their diet. And they reach their goal, and they say 95% of people get to their goal weight on a diet, and 95% of people gain it back and then more. Really? So it's I'm trying to just bridge that gap between people going crazy and people being able to balance out
sustainability, right?
Yeah. It needs to be sustainable and realistic.
I like it.
So that's where I'm headed right now.
That's good.
Yeah, man.
I think the putting all your eggs in one basket, we're told for so long not to do that. Yeah. And that's the only way you can be successful.
I think so. And we in today's society, everyone's you need multiple streams of income, and I agree with that. Eventually, but you need to build one at a time. Yeah. One needs to be built and be sustained for whatever your arbitrary period of time is, and then you can start another one once you can prove to yourself and to your client base or whatever you're doing that you can sustain that one. Yeah. And then you build on the second one. Then you can sustain that one. But there, what do they say? There's levels to this shit.
Right. There's levels to this shit.
Yeah, there's levels to this shit. So right now, starting fresh, I'm just trying to build that up to, because that was my secondary income. Now it's my primary income.
Right.
So let's build that up, see how many lives I can impact, and then let's see what's next.
Which, like I said, dude, I don't mean to blow smoke, but I think it's great because not only did you build an income for yourself, but you only started 6 or 7 years ago, which is crazy. So you're doing it all right. Like, do you have any advice or things that have transferred from your fitness career into being a successful entrepreneur or business owner?
I'm pretty hard on myself, so I wouldn't call myself successful yet.
I think it's a metric, right? But at the very least, like, you've built a business that sustains you.
Yeah. No, I'd say a good measurement of entrepreneurship is if you can cover all your bills with what you're doing. I think at that point you're an entrepreneur.
Okay.
So I'm there, but I haven't, I'm not to the level I want to be at yet.
But what got you there? Like, what are the few things that are like, I followed this, I did this,
it's what you were talking about. Like you're saying what was it, physical or mental with the monotony of like training. Like it's literally waking up and doing the same shit over and over again. Like that's all it is. Like you're going into the gym and you're doing the same shit over and over again to get better. And when people see like the realistic side of that, a lot of people will just turn away.
So why didn't you? Why haven't you?
So I can't tell you why I didn't at the start because I should have, or you would expect me to. At this point though, I'm too deep in it to turn out. I feel like at this point I've invested so much time and so much energy into it that it's like if I turn back now, it's like, you
built a monster and now you have to feed it.
Well, it's that and just with my client base and everything, I feel like I'm a leader of some sort. I'm a role model, so it's like if I give up, then like that's a big deal for them because it's like damn, like he if there's anyone that does it every day and doesn't miss, like it's him. And if he gave up, then fuck, where am I at?
Absolutely. No, I
so
love
it's
that.
Like, and it's probably not that big of a deal either if I did, but
I think it would be though.
But I need
for
to make
you.
it a big deal, so I don't stop.
I absolutely think it would be.
Yeah. So, and I don't know what I do, man. Like it's part of my day. Like, I make breakfast. I go to the gym. Like I go to sleep. Like it's part of it's just like part of my routine.
Yeah.
So I don't know about you, but like just like we have certain things that we do. Am I motivated to go to the gym all the time? Hell no. Did I want to work out today? No.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. But we came in here, we did it because that's part of it.
Yeah. We had to get it done, man.
Yeah, it's just something that needs to be done.
But you don't have anything specific. I mean, it's fine if you don't, but I'm thinking like you had 6 years to build a business, which is hard as shit. Plus your records. What made you come back? Did you not have anything else to go to? Were you kind of like, I've done a whole bunch of other things and I just like this best and I'm going to see it through? Was it, you had military parents? Did your dad beat you up and say focus as a kid?
No, I did have military parents, but I mostly grew up by myself. I never played a team sport. Never played any football or anything like that. I had a skateboard. I skateboarded, but in terms of like, what did I do? Fuck, man. I would just say at this point, I think I was just always chasing something. And in turn, I attracted things like clients and people wanting my help. So it's like, I was always chasing that 700-pound deadlifts.
Yeah.
So from the point that I hit, I was chasing the 600-pound deadlift. I hit that, and then I was like, well, I can do 7, so let's do 7. That was 2018. So I chased that for 4 years.
Yeah.
So now that I've hit 7, I'm just like, well, I don't think 8's in the cards. And I'm okay with that. And I'm fine with that. So it's like, okay, now where do we turn my energy to?
Yeah.
It's like, now I just want to build other people's deadlifts.
Just driven as fuck.
Will I PR my deadlift? Yeah, I probably will. But right now, it's like, that's not my focus. I chased that for so long, I need a break from chasing numbers.
I think that's fair. Like you said, is like, you have different value attached to things. So like, what's 800 going to get you, versus getting 8 more clients or whatever.
Yeah.
Probably not a whole lot.
No, not at all. And just knowing how rewarding it was on the way up to where I kind of just got to, I want to show other people that too. So it's like, I want to bridge that, like I was saying, I want to bridge that gap between I want to get stronger and I'm strong. So it's like, if you haven't pulled 500 pounds, let me show you how to pull 500 pounds.
Yeah.
If you haven't pulled 600, let me show you how to pull 600. Like, yeah, exactly. And I have the, and I have the conviction to do that because I've been there. I struggled getting to 600. Like, I know what it, I know what not to do. I know what to do. And everyone's different.
Dude, again, on your videos, I think you were like 683 or 687.
Yeah.
And you're like, it might take me 3 months to get to 700. Like that's crazy, dude. You think 13 pounds, got a 10-pound plate that's going to take you 3 months, and then you're like maybe 18 months.
Well, check it out. I pulled 675 in 2020. It took me 2 years to go 675, 27.
Yeah.
So, and that's why I really don't like the space right now, just because, especially with fat loss. Let me help you lose 30 pounds in like a month.
Yeah.
Let me, you want a 700-pound deadlift? Like, we can do that in 3 months. You don't know.
Right.
I'm going to be real. Yeah, I need to be transparent with you and say this can take this long or this can take this long.
Yeah.
You might get injured, the fourth week that we're working together. That's going to put a damper on our time.
And then again, the 16th week, and then, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, you just got to, that's why I said it could take me 3 months. It could take me 18 months. Like, and you need to be okay with whatever result that is. Because if you really want it, you're just not going to stop working until it comes.
I try not to do anything unless it's a long-term game now.
Yeah.
And sometimes right now I'm working on the 600-pound deadlift.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'll hit 600. And I won't be shocked if I don't.
You need to know that you hit 600, that you can hit 600.
Well, my point is just like, it's for the content, because that's a long-term game.
Yeah.
But I'm going to get as heavy as I can get, and it probably won't be 600, because to your point, we'll check in on that later. The point is, it's like, the long-term game is this, not powerlifting, or long-term game is business, whatever the thing is. Like, people don't want to do the long-term game. They want what's coming in the next 30 days, the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we want instant gratification, right? Like, I'm blanking right now, but I think a lot of people can't see themselves where, they like the idea. Everyone likes the idea of being strong. Everyone likes the idea of having a six-pack, but when it comes down to what needs to go into that work, like, only, if you have 10 people that want it, only 2 people are going to get it.
Yeah.
Because most people can't actually sustain that workload.
Because they're going to get it no matter what.
Yeah.
Like you with the business or the 700, you're like, you're going to get it, and it's going to take as long as it takes.
Yeah, and and you talked about earlier, like, what tips do I have? I think that at this point, it's like looking back and analyzing everything, like, especially with just strength, it's wanting a 600-pound deadlift or 700-pound deadlift. Like, it was always thinking like a 600-pound deadlifter. Thinking like a 700-pound deadlifter. It's like, what do they do? Yeah. How do they train? How do they think?
That's a really good point.
And, so it's like when I wanted 600, it's like, I think I pulled 545 for a double before I pulled 600. And it's like, well, if a 600-pound deadlifter came up and pulled this, it wouldn't be that hard and they wouldn't make a big deal out of it. So I'm not going to make a big deal out of this. I'm going to treat it like it's not a big deal. And the less that I started treating things like the more that I started taking things off the pedestal, the easier things got. It's a good point. We make things big in our minds, and they're really not that big. Yeah. And it's just like it's the same shit that you're doing over and over again.
It's funny because it's not that big, and I like that mentality. And it's like, okay, we've done it. Let's move to the next thing. Yeah. But it also gives you that like target, so it's big to have. Yeah. But I guess once you hit it, I really like the point of think like X, think like an entrepreneur, a business owner, think like a parent, think like a elite athlete, like whatever. Yeah. It's a really good point.
So I think that's like really, I think that's really the main thing that I do then that gets me to where I want to go is I start to think like them. I reach out to people that, I had a guy coach me into my last meet just because it's nice to have a second pair of eyes on you, and you get to learn as a coach from a more elite level coach how they think and how they work. Yeah. But he's a 740-pound deadlifter at 181, and I'm like, he's my size. He can pull more than me. Let me get into his head. Yeah. And that's what I did. I paid him, and he taught me, and he showed me what to do, and I got there.
So I always tell people, whether it's business, with a sport, relationships, like having a coach is great.
Yeah, a mentor. Yeah, having a mentor figure or a leader, like to show you the way is. I think it's a lot of people are scared to invest in that kind of stuff because is it available for free everywhere? Yeah, but there's just something about having that person like tell you and watch over you and check in with you. Right. And you get to watch how they operate too.
And it's not free. It's just accessible in some form. Yeah. But it's not the same.
But they piece it together in a way that just makes it like, it's like driving on a paved road versus an unpaved road.
It's done for you. Yeah. It's like, it's more hands-on.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think that's another thing. I don't think people invest in mentorship, leadership, coaching, and especially men. I feel like a lot of men
do
like
it myself.
have this like, oh, I'm going to do it myself mentality. And then I'll talk to them when they're trying to lose weight. They're like, oh, my carbs are at 100 right now. It's like, bro.
Yeah.
Like, no.
Yeah. That's keto, friend.
Let me show you the right way. You know, and I think it's like a gender thing because I feel like women are so much faster to like be communal with each other and like look for help. I don't know. Maybe that's it.
Ask people.
Yeah, I don't want to be like politically incorrect or anything on here or piss anyone off, but yeah, I feel like, especially with men, I feel like they're slower to ask for help. Yeah,
that's a good point. So we've got 2 more questions.
Yep.
This one's kind of vague. We touched on it, but like you've got those days where you don't want to wake up, you don't want to work out, you don't want to talk to your fucking clients. Like, do you have one thing that you tell yourself or a kind of a habits that you do?
Yeah, man. Well, waking up, man, like that's just, you got to get up. Like that's like when the alarm goes off, like if you set it earlier, if you account for 1 snooze, you can do it. But most of the time, yeah, you got to get up. But in the morning, I have been journaling. You know, I traded stocks for a long time, and that was like one of the paramount parts of like trading stocks was journaling, self-awareness. So it's like in the morning now when I'm getting up, I'm journaling and I'm making sure that I have affirmations that I'm writing down on who I want to be, and that way, I have a direction to go towards.
Yeah.
And I'm writing down gratitudes. What am I thankful for? And that way I have a direction. I have something that I'm thankful for. I write out how I want my day to go. And just doing that grounding in the morning, by the time that I don't want to deal with myself or someone says something that's going to, that might piss me off, like I'm so grounded from that I'm not, you can't shake me.
How long does that morning routine take you?
20 minutes.
Okay.
If you can get up 20 minutes earlier and do that, and you can even just start by, I don't even know, like just writing 5 affirmations. And it sounds corny, and I thought it was corny at first too, but I've been doing it for a while now, and you stop being reactive to things because you're more comfortable with what you're doing. You know which direction you're headed in.
Yeah.
So if something comes up, someone cuts you off on the road, that being the most basic example of something's going to happen, like that has nothing to do with like what I'm trying to do. So like, why am I going to give any energy to that?
Right.
I got too much energy to give in other areas.
That's a fair point.
Yeah.
As long as it didn't hit you or something, you can go on with your day.
Yeah, absolutely. So
save the energy.
Or if someone, if you have a hard conversation, you remember who you are. So it's like, as corny as that sounds, man, like, yeah, I feel much more emotionally and just solid. I just feel way more solid doing that. Just like nothing can really shake me.
There's tons of people that say this in different ways, but basically it's like everything you want to accomplish is logical, and the only thing that stops you is the human condition. Like, if you want to build $1 million business, if you want to learn how to do X, Y, and Z, or lose weight or get stronger, it's like you can do that, just follow the program. But when you get emotional, that's when you fuck yourself up. And if you can find a way to like be logical, set aside, take out those emotions and look at them and say, this is what's going to happen.
Yeah.
I might not feel good. I might be sick. I might just be irritated. I might be super happy. And like the highs and lows have to level out. So
that's a great point. And I think it also goes back to thinking about who you want to be. Yeah. And, if I want to be this leader that, coaches all these fucking people, like, would that leader get shook by this? Yeah. No, he wouldn't. So it's like, so I don't either.
I love it, dude.
So I think that there's a lot of value in that.
So last question. Yeah. Building businesses, you're crushing records, you've got a girlfriend. Do you ever rest?
More than you think. More than you think, man. It's a constant game of like trying to have like the perfect day. Yeah. But yeah, a lot of days a lot of days don't go how they're planned, and a lot of that's just like adjusting to that. Yeah. That is the consistent answer. I'm sure, and I'm sure that you do the same thing. You'll have a to-do list, and it looks good on paper when it comes down to doing it. You're just like, fuck, man. It's only a mile long. Like, why can't I get it done? Yeah. So no, I haven't mastered my day yet. I'm still working on it, but I think it's more just about being realistic. Yeah. I think we all want things, and we want them fast, and whatever I'm going to plan out to do, it's going to take me twice as long to do. I think that's what I came to the conclusion of. Yeah. Yeah.
You're still getting shit done, man. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'm gonna link his Instagram below, and that's really all you have right now, right?
Yeah.
So I'll link it below. As always, guys, we'll see you in the next one.
Later, guys. Thank you.
Oh,